Hello, welcome to class 1. We're gonna begin this course with a masterclass that will lead you from the past to the future. So, welcome to our masterclass. Over the next 10 sessions, we're going to fundamentally deconstruct and rebuild your understanding of artificial intelligence, organizational security, and your own professional identity, I hope. But before we begin the architecture, we have to establish the rules of engagement. Because this is a pre recorded session, I am not in the room to correct you. So I need you to open your architectural blueprint workbook. And I want you to work with me through this course. You have already seen the banned words. So from this moment forward in your professional lives, you are no longer allowed to use the word software or tool. Cross them out. Write the word agentic actor, as we discussed. You are no longer allowed to use the word prompting. Cross it out. You have to say managing digital psychology. And you are no longer allowed to use the word output. Cross it out. We're going to talk about enactment instead. And if you change your vocabulary, you change your reality. And reality is exactly what is at stake at this course. To understand where you are going, we must understand where we have been. And for the last 50 years, the dominant paradigm was to view your company as a giant human-powered thermometer. In 1984, researchers formalized this, arguing that organizations are fundamentally interpretation systems. In this traditional view, your human employees acted as the sensory receptors. They scanned the market, they passed the data up to the chain of command, and executives sat in boardrooms trying to give meaning to that data. Technology was just a passive instrument used to record the temperature. Even for the last decade, as we adopted the first wave of machine learning, we lived in the predictive era. Predictive AI was just a highly sophisticated thermometer. It reads the environment, measures variables, and it even gave you a classification based on static historical data. It automated the analysis of data, but it completely failed at the synthesis and execution of solutions. It did not change the wrong, it only told you about it. The machine was a passive observer, but we have crossed a threshold. But before we go further, I'd like you to consider if someone you know is governing AI in their organization and they have not seen this series yet, send them this video. Not because I need the views, but because the gap between how these systems actually work and how most executive teams and even technical teams think they work is a dangerous gap. And the only way to close it is to talk about it. And now I'd like to invite you to talk about a very relevant loop. So let's discuss it. Over the time, we had humans are interpreters. So technology would tell us the temperature, but the interpretation would be always depending on humans. So if we were to need some data to achieve some conclusions, to have some decisions, and even to generate actions, we would need humans to work over that. But now we're talking about something really different. We're talking about enactment. So we do not have thermometers anymore. We have thermostats. We have technology that act by themselves. And this is what we call enactment. So this is the major leap we're living through. So this is the generative leap. With the advent of large language models, the machine transitioned from a thermometer to a thermostat. A thermostat doesn't just read the temperature, it possesses an internal model of the desired state of the world, and it actively initiates processes to change the room until reality matches that desired state. But to operate a thermostat, you have to tell it what you want. And here lies the greatest friction in computing. For the last 50 years, human computer interaction, or HCI, has been a one way street. If you wanted a computer to do something, you had to learn its language. You had to learn Python, SQL, R, Java, or any other language, or any rigid programming syntax. The burden of translation fell entirely on the human. But this reliance on perfect human instruction relies on a fatally flawed assumption. The assumption that the user actually knows what they want. In 1980, information scientist Nicholas Belkin introduced a foundational concept called the Anomalous State of Knowledge. Essentially, you don't know what you don't know. If you're following me through, you're probably already understanding where I'm diving into. When non-experts attempt to seek information in a specialized domain, they lack the jargon and the conceptual frameworks required to formulate a precise query. So, if we talk about it a little bit further, then we understand that under the old paradigm, if you asked a database a bad question, it would give you a bad answer. We keep hearing that modern AI is reversing this, that the machine is learning to speak human. But let's be incredibly clear about your currently reality. For the vast majority of you using ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, or DeepSeek models today, that is a dangerous illusion. Current AI does not truly speak human. When you ask a human expert a poorly formulated question, they don't blindly answer it. They negotiate with you. As mapped out by researchers recently, human experts use a strategy called cognitive triage. If your question is too broad, they zoom in. If your question is based on a flawed assumption, they zoom out to try to understand what you really want. And that's when we need to discuss the HCI illusion. So let's discuss it really honestly. Proactive AI that uses these exact cognitive triage strategies is the vanguard, but it's not what we have available today. It is a future solution currently under study in frontier frameworks like InstructPipe or open source agentic ecosystems like OpenClaw, where the AI acts as a compiler, proactively negotiating your intent and absorbing the technical burden. Some commercial models are beginning to use it, such as Claude, for example. But until that frontier is fully deployed across your enterprise, your reality is the chat window. And if you ask current commercial AI a flawed question based on an anomalous state of knowledge, meaning if you ask any question about a domain that you do not possess a expert knowledge, it won't negotiate with you. It will confidently execute your bad premise, your bad command. It will confidently answer your incomplete question. This is exactly why you must be hyper conscious of how you communicate with AI. You cannot just type words and hope for the best. Here's your insight for class 1. The frontier of AI is no longer a tool you pick up. It is an agent that negotiates intent. But until you reach that autonomous frontier, you cannot afford to be passive. You must actively manage the digital psychology of the machine, because right now it will not save you from your own assumptions. A tool is passive. A hammer does not help you decide where the nail should go. An agent is an active collaborator, and you must learn to direct it. So let's talk about what AI really does. So let's go back to our drawings. Before AI, we had scanning, interpretation, and learning, in all as different parts of a process. So all of this would be performed by a different actor. Technology could scan, for example, but the interpretation and the learning, the decision making included, would be a responsibility of humans. But now, with AI, we're talking that all of this, so we're talking that all of these actions are now performed by a single agent. So we now have something different that encompasses all of it. We have something called enactment. So that's what you have to keep in mind. Now, all these processes are performed by one technological agent. So let's talk about a little bit more. So if the machine is moving toward active execution, what happens when we connect it to the real world? This brings us to the core framework of our governance model. So let's talk a bit about it a little bit. Some researchers in 2023 wrote about digital enactment systems. When you replace the human sensory organ with an AI, the three distinct processes of scanning the market and interpreting the data and learning to take action collapse into a single tightly integrated loop performed by a machine autonomously. And when this happens, your organization fundamentally changes. And your organization changes the relationship with the environment. Organizations cease to be human interpretation systems, and instead they become digital enactment systems. They no longer just interpret information, they actively enact and construct these environments. So if we talk about the 2010 crash, look at high frequency trading. The algorithms do not wait for humans to interpret a quarterly earnings report. They autonomously scan order books and execute trades in nanoseconds. When an algorithm executes 10,000 trades in a millisecond, it is not reading the market price. It is actually creating the market price. It enacts the reality that every other participant must react to. This is how we got the flash crashes. Algorithms enacting a panic before a human even registers the environment has changed. In a digitally transformed organization, your role as executive fundamentally changes because the AI handles the real time scanning and interpreting. Human managers are pushed to the edges of the system. You are no longer making the decisions, you are managing the parameters of the digital technologies that make the decisions. And not only make the decisions, but also act on them. You were forced to engage in strategic foresight, trying to predict the unpredictable, the consequences of a machine that constructs reality at light speed. This is the paradigm shift you must internalize. You are not implementing a new IT system, you are building an autonomous enactment engine. This brings us to our lab assignment. So I want you to open your workbook and look at your own company, your own routine, your own environment. First, map out one thermometer workflow. Find a process that currently relies on human interpretation, decision, and action. Some consensus building and reactive learning. Second, redesign that exact process as a thermostat workflow. How would this process look if digital scanning, interpretation, learning, and decision and action were collapsed into a single tightly coupled algorithmic loop? What realities would this new workflow enact? And most critically, what new security risks do you introduce when human sovereignty is removed from the loop of interpretation or from the loop of acting? Welcome to the Agentic era. Complete your lab, and I will see you in class 2, where we'll look into the mind of the machine. Oh, and one more thing before we get started. Micah 6 AI works directly with a small number of executive teams on a private basis, and we apply exactly these frameworks to their specific organizational context, and we do that pro bono. So if your team is navigating these challenges and you'd like to explore that, there is a link in the description. See you on next class.